Hello and welcome to another update video about Luna Classic. Luna Classic did, since the last video, break out of this so-called, or we called it a bit of a bull flag here that it made. Yeah. I have changed the wave count though, even though it did move into the intended direction, which was up. For me, I looked at the structure again, looked at what developed here, and for me this at the moment looks more like a complete wave one, even though it's extremely ugly. Yeah, so in the last video I had this here, wave one here, wave two down here, and then that this could be a wave three. Now, I'm not saying this couldn't still be the case. That is possible that this is the wave three that is currently moving up here. So that is the first possibility that I showed you in the last video. So based on that, we actually broke out of the descending channel here to the upside, basically a bull flag, we called it in the last video. Now you never know where these break out until they break out, but it did break out to the upside, which is in such a structure the more likely option, especially as we had a possible 1-2 setup here, which was close to support at the 50% fib level. And it did move up above the wave 1 high actually, and the wave B high. So this first of all makes us assume, yeah, we just have to assume it at the moment, that we are already in this first wave, in the larger first wave. So looking at this entire count, this was a wave 1, this here a wave 2, and we're now in the third wave, but the third wave has subwaves. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and within the first wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's exactly where we are if you want to look at that in terms of the fractals and the different sections of the chart. But yeah, let's zoom in once more, because this is now where it's getting interesting. So there are two options, and it depends on which support level is now holding. So this is again the count from the last video. The view is that based on this we would now be in the wave 3, but what happened here for me looks like a leading diagonal wave 1 of wave 3. So let's just look at what we would need to reach in this wave count in wave 3. We would need to get to 0.0005, which is up here. Yeah, so we are far away from that. So this was certainly not wave 3. So what it could have been, it could have been the first wave to the upside. Let me just, first wave, that this here is now a wave 2, and we're going to move up and fill the 5 waves. Okay. So this is possible. The move down at the moment looks fairly corrective. And this wave 2 is valid as long as we hold above the 78.6% fib level. Now, I'm not saying it's valid. It is valid as long as we don't make a new low, but it's likely that it's a wave 2 as long as we're holding here that 0.00028 level, yeah? So as long as we hold that level, I would go actually with this count. But we need to be ready. So at the moment, we've obviously pulled back here to the 61.8. Now this is a possible support level at 0.0003. From here we could start to move up, but at the moment there is no evidence for that. There's no bullish reaction or anything. So at the moment I have to assume we go lower, and the key level here would be the 0.786 fib level, so 0.000282. Now if we lose this level, then I think something else is getting much more likely, and that would be the, let's say, short-term, more bearish option, but medium term it would be the same outcome basically. Now that would assume that all of this was a wave 1, which is possible to count as well. Yeah, especially if we go into the lower level here, we would then have to say that this was a 1, 2, small 1, 2. This was the 3, the 4. Reason for that is we pulled perfectly back to an ideal level for a wave 4. And then this was an ending diagonal in a wave 5 to complete a wave 1, a very ugly one, but possible, nothing invalidated here, yeah? Just completely out of the order, the Fibonacci extensions, but perfectly fine from an Elliott wave count point of view. So this is a possible option, which means that should we drop below that 0.786 level that I just showed you, and then especially if we break below this swing low at 0.000258, then I think we are going to see here a deeper pullback into this region, which I'm going to highlight now for you, because then this is a larger wave 2 then. Into the region between the 0.00025 level, between this level and 0.000202. So between the 61.8% fib level and the 88.7, even though, again, as always, ideally we don't want to drop below the 78.6% fib level, which is 0.0022. So it all depends on which level is now holding. We're coming back now to key support, that 78.6% fib level, that 78.6% fib level that was up here. If we lose it, we are looking here at a deeper pullback in such a wave 2 and would then start up. It is really only when we lose the 0.00202 level that I think all of this isn't going to work out. Then it would be quite a bit of a problematic count and quite a bearish count, because then if we also lose this target area in green, yeah, then we have to assume that this was just a wave B. So that basically all of this was a wave A, that was a B, and the wave C would come down lower. Now, if this is the case, then we're losing a lot of key support levels, and this would not be bullish. And then we have even, you know, if we do this, yeah, and go below the wave A low in a wave C, which was down here at around 0.00018, yeah, I mean, then we're looking at a much deeper pullback that could come down to 0.0001 and even lower. At the moment, therefore, I would hope that in any bullish scenario, we're going to hold this 0.00202 level down there. If we lose it, then then I have to assume that this was a wave B. At the moment, this is could also be seen as a 3-wave structure, because it's a bit of an ugly one, as I said. But the point that we have a small 1-2 here, you can count this at the moment as 5 waves as well. So it all depends on which support level is now holding. Bit of a decision moment approaching here on the Lunar Classic chart. I would primarily still look at higher here, but bear in mind that any Lunar Classic TA needs to be taken with a pinch of salt. So for now, I'm looking at this A. Then we had the wave, where were we? B, C, yeah. And to be honest, this wave C is extremely ugly as well. Yeah, don't get me wrong. This is extremely ugly as well. Let me take that wave 1 out. I don't know where that comes from, but this wave C is extremely ugly. So again, this is not high confidence. It's a highly speculative chart, but this could become something. Okay, so let's go. This is obviously the target area for this scenario. Let's also just put the target area for the other scenario onto the chart, so that we have it complete, so that, you know, if we lose one area, we're most likely flipping into the other scenario. So let's just do this, and I go here as well down to the 88.7% fib level. So basically looking here at the area between 0.000272 and this one we reached anyway, 0.000302. Yeah, if we lose this area, then we're in the other area and in the other scenario. Both at the moment bullish, short-term bearish. I think there is no evidence that this is holding at the moment, this particular 61.8 level. So short-term a bit more downside expected. But as soon as we see here a bullish signal, which would be basically taking out a previous swing high, then this could be reversing. Target in this scenario for this wave 3, I already gave you. I can do it again. That would be assuming that this was wave 1 coming down in 2. So target here would be 0.0005 for this wave 3. In the other scenario where we are saying that this is the scenario, it's a bit hard to calculate the wave 3 because we don't know exactly how low the wave 2 is going. But in that scenario, we'd say, oh no, so then the wave 1 was up here, coming down, let's say into the middle of the box. Then the target would also be 0.0055 roughly, so a bit higher. But again, we just need to see how this is now playing out. Probably in the next few hours or days we know more. But for me, short term, a little bit more downside expected before we reverse to the upside. Waiting for a clear reversal signal to the upside. At the moment, we don't have this yet. Okay, And looking at any indicators here also on the 1 hour chart, there is no bullish divergence visible at the moment on the RSI. So here pointing down. Looking at the 4 hour chart, we've had a bearish crossover here and also lost the 50 level on the RSI. So it also confirms we could come down a bit lower actually on the 4 hour. The daily isn't really useful here, but it shows down there a small bullish crossover on the daily chart. So this is still ongoing. But I would take the daily one with a pinch of salt. It seems to be messed up due to the older chart history basically that we've seen here. And yeah, other than that, if we add the EMA ribbon, let's see if that is helpful. You can see that on the EMA ribbon, this is the 4 hour chart. We're currently coming to support. So I mean, we have reached this target area. If the EMA ribbon here is holding, which is coming down to 0.03 as well, then yes, certainly there could be a reversal, but there is just no evidence yet. So this is the 4 hour chart. On the 1 hour, you can see we actually broke the EMA ribbon. There will be a short signal shortly here on the 1 hour, and that could also be a bit of a sell signal. So yeah, I think very short term here, there's still a bit of downside to be expected, especially, if you draw a trend line here, that will also give you an idea when a certain level is broken. So here you can connect these 3 highs together, and as long as we stay below this, I think the downtrend is sort of intact. Yeah, okay, and that's my update about Luna Classic. Hope that's useful. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, yeah, subscribe as well, and also take a look at the channel membership if you're interested. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.